Welcome back to the NRL Fantasy Flog. I'm JL.
And I'm Rayner, and jumping right into it this week, I think the first thing we need to talk about is prizes have been updated.
There's some new prizes.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, first prize, you actually get cash now as well. The tickets to Origin, like 10 grand. I think second prize is 2 grand, and then down to whatever. You get money for third, fourth, and fifth, but no one cares.
Very good. So
And,
that's massive.
Yeah, and there's
difference.
weekly prizes to $750, $250 a second, and then third to fifth get vouchers at KFC, which is probably the best thing they've done.
Yeah, chicken.
Yeah, chicken prizes.
Very good. And also, there's some more prizes.
Oh, for leagues.
Yeah.
If you create a league, you can go in a draw to win a VIP trip to the grand final.
So that's fantastic. Lone Scout tweeted that last week. So well done to all the people involved in getting that up, because there was obviously a lot of talk about how rubbish the
Well, they may
prizes
have been
were.
planning that. They just didn't roll it out straight away.
Yeah, but they I don't think they've done it very well, because there's
Nah.
so much backlash and people saying they're going to jump over to Supercoach and
Probably still will if it's just about money, but
yeah.
yeah.
But no, well done to them. I think they've listened. Hopefully they've listened to us. So
Yeah. And we have our league too.
yeah, and we'll put the code down in the description.
Probably be on the screen now too if you want.
That's a good idea, because it's filling up fast. No, we've got a few spots left. So obviously, I don't think it starts. The head-to-head won't start till round 2, but get in quick, get your spot so you can play along with us.
Cool.
Cool.
I think we should jump straight into team lists.
Yeah, so big week. Obviously, Team List Tuesday this week. Probably one of the biggest days on the sporting calendar, especially for us fantasy coaches. So yesterday was probably a mad kind of rush around in the afternoon, get yourself organised, look at the team list, and then spend some time.
Yeah, changing your
Fixing up.
team and that.
Yeah.
So everyone's probably changed their team 20 times already, and we're going to probably suggest that you change them again for some reason.
I'm going to change mine another 20, so
Yeah.
don't worry about that. All right, so we got the round kicks off tomorrow night. Only one more sleep, guys. St George Illawarra and the Brisbane Broncos. What do you see here?
Brisbane, McCulloch starting. That's
Yeah.
relevant to most people, I suppose.
Yep.
And as we thought, Corey Oates is on the wing. Not a surprise there. So
No, that was not a surprise.
that's shuffled their Kahu into centres, and Asako gets the start on the other wing.
Yeah, I read some mail that that may not be the starting lineup as suggested earlier in the week by the Courier Mail. So this has been released, but I think come game time that might change again. So just keep an eye on that.
I think that'll be the same for a lot of the teams.
Yeah, possibly, because McCulloch hasn't trained at all, or not trained, but he hasn't played in the trials and stuff like that. So, who you liking from that team? Any standouts that you got to have?
Just Lodge. I mean,
Yep.
Wiley, before he gets kicked out of the comp, everyone should have him.
A lot of people talking about Jermaine Asako.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got him because he's cheap, but I mean,
Yeah.
with wingers, you don't know what you're going to get until they start playing.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't got him at the moment. I think he's going to make a little bit of money, but I think there's more value out there. Anything else?
Not really.
There was talk about Tavita Pangai Jr. starting. He's fairly cheap still, but if he plays off the bench, I wouldn't be looking at him. I actually like Jaden Sewer. I kind of hope there's an injury in the second row this year. If he gets a start, I think he'll be well worth it. He's quite a good player. But to start with, no. So that's Broncos. What do you reckon about... also Jermaine Asako. We've got to make note that Jack Bird will be back in about 4 rounds or so. So he'll probably be the player to make way, I would imagine. And Kahu will shift back to the wing. And I would imagine... But, you know, they've got quite a lot of players. They've got quite a lot of players there are injury prone. So I think you'll get a run through the year anyway, but something to make note of. Dragons?
Dragons, pretty much as expected, I would think. Not too many surprises there.
Yeah.
Leilua on the bench, people were talking him up. I wouldn't touch him,
No.
but go for it.
So it looks like they've got they've got Kurt Mann as utility on the bench. We mentioned that he probably won't get many minutes. So really, they've got 3 forwards on the bench. So I think Paul Vaughan will get similar minutes, maybe even a touch more this year. And Jack DeBellin will probably get his 65 minutes. So I don't think these guys will go backwards. But
No, I think it's...
there's probably not much improvement in them either.
No, exactly right.
Yeah, so that's all I've got to say about the Dragons. There's not much there. I don't think I've got any of these guys in my team.
Nah, not just yet. There's a few that you might want to have later in the year, but not to start with.
Who do you like out of that game anyway, if you're tipping?
Probably Dragons, but...
Yeah, Brisbane, I think Brisbane have got a good record lately anyway. I think they've won the last 5 or so, but if I had to pick, I'd go with the Dragons too. So Friday night game, the 6 o'clock game is the Knights and Manly. I think I'm actually looking forward to this game. I like Manly team. I've got a few Manly players in my team, and I think I've got a couple of Newcastle players. I think Newcastle will be interesting to watch. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks about Newcastle because it's hard to know how they're going to actually fit together. It's a real rebuilt team.
Yep.
And there's some guys in there that are quite popular and have been fantasy guns before.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting to see if they can carry it out again this year.
So obviously Kalen Ponga locked in at fullback, and I don't know, I've got him in my team.
Yeah, I think he'll be a gun this year. So
yeah. Connor Watson, what do you think about him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he could be good. He could be really good. He's still fairly cheap. But it's just going to depend on how he plays and if he keeps that number 6 role.
And I think
Brock Lamb on the bench is obviously going to move to the hooker up at some point, I would think.
Well, that's the problem for Slade Griffin and Connor Watson. You got Brock Lamb on the bench. Buer is named on the bench, especially for Slade Griffin, who looks like it could be a good buy because they haven't got Levi on the bench. But I still think he's going to obviously not play 80 minutes.
Yeah, but even if he gets a solid 50 minutes in there, as long as he's staying busy making a lot of tackles.
Yeah, so whether he comes off, Watson goes to 9 or Buer goes to 9, there's going to be some changing around. And I think that's what Nathan Brown said during the week is why Levi got left out, just for the balance of the team. So he's got a few more options with all these other guys, Brock Lamb and Buer and Watson. So I'm still not really sure how that's going to play out. But like Rayner said, I think Griffin's probably still not a bad buy if he gets 50-odd minutes. And I think I've put him on my bench at the moment.
Yeah, I did too.
There you go. Herman Essie?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he will rotate heavily, I would say, with Saifidi and Hyington on the bench. So, I mean, I'm not totally on board.
Yeah. I actually think Mitch Barnett will probably play close to 80 minutes. He did anyway, did he, or not really?
Yeah, but see, I look at that, and if things are going well, Jamie Buer could slot in at lock.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no guarantee on any of those guys.
I just don't think their pack's that big.
No.
Like other than Saifidi and the 2 starters. Chris Hyington's probably at the end of his career.
Yeah, but he's still handy.
He's still handy, but so I think there could be a standout in their pack, but I just don't know who it's going to be.
I just think that's why they're going to lose games this year, is because they're going to get rolled in the forwards quite a bit, and it's going to be harder for Pearce to control the game.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not looking at Pearce either. For the Manly Seagulls, a team, I've got a few Manly mates playing in our league that probably have all 17 players in their team.
Yeah. The Trebojevic brothers, they'll have Croker, maybe Cherry Evans.
Yeah.
I'm off to Power now. He's I don't know that he's...
Are you still on Fanua Blake? I think you had him on your bench last time.
Yeah, he's still on bench.
Yeah.
Just because of his price. And he should start and play minutes. So...
They brought a massive bloke onto their bench, that Kelapai Tanganoa, who's an absolute beast, a monster of a bloke. He's very young though, and Sean Lane's quite big. Winterstein's got some size about him as well, so yeah, I don't know about Fanua Blake or Tapau, to be honest. Definitely Jake Trbojevic. I think he's a lock.
It's definitely a lock.
At 80 minutes. He's a lock at lock. So you can bank on him getting a solid 50 to 60 points every week. And by the way the trials went, he was getting more involved in their attack and playmaking. He could, be one of the top sort of 5 fantasy players the whole year.
Fingers crossed.
Tommy Trbojevic, I really want to fit him in my team. But
You
someone's
just can't
going to
have
make
all
way.
the fullbacks.
Yeah.
Because, the price is just too high to keep them all. And if you've got him, Tedesco, Ponga, suddenly you've got no money left. You had to make sacrifices somewhere. And for a lot of teams, he's probably the one to go.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He was the one to go in my team, unfortunately. What else do you see there? Anything else?
No, that's about it.
We've all got Lachlan Croker on the bench, probably. Yep. Lewis Brown.
Don't touch Lewis Brown.
People are going to put him in their team because he's been around a long time.
And he's dual position.
But just don't do it to yourselves.
He'll get 10 minutes.
And not even 10 points.
Drop the ball 3 times and give away a penalty.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, so that's Manly. Who do you like in that game?
I really don't know. I'd probably stick with Manly. Just
we forgot to mention Cherry Evans. We've talked about him before, but kick meters, he's going to get pretty much all the kick meters, I imagine.
Yeah, but he probably will actually.
So I think if you're looking for a top-notch half at a reasonable price, it's Cherry Evans.
He's going to have to do a lot of defensive work too. Because I think they'll run a lot of forwards at him to try and tire him out. Because everyone knows that he'll have to be the one to lead the team around.
Yeah. For people looking to sort of go either Thurston or Cherry Evans, I might spend the extra 60k or whatever and get Cherry Evans.
You could do worse.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going Manly in that game. I like Manly this year. Cool.
What's next? The next game is North Queensland and Cronulla, and playing on Friday night. It's not too much out of that that's surprising. North Queensland has a similar team to they always put out.
Yeah, well, obviously, Coote's injured, so they've actually put Ben Hampton at fullback. But
stay away from him.
Yeah, that'd probably only be for one or two games.
He can play 80 minutes and still only score 12 points.
Yeah. The other one is Jarvid Bowen did get named in centre, and he'll be there. I reckon he'll be there for, we would say 3 months or something. Well,
he'll be there for a while,
but
off
with his pec injury, so
I don't know that it'll make a huge difference.
Priced at 400 and something. There's not many options in the centres, and I was talking to Rayner before about the centres. Even the guys that are really cheap, I don't even know if they're going to make money. So
yeah,
I think he's an option. I think I'd be thinking about him.
My whole approach to the centre position is just forget about it. Just put anyone in there, it doesn't matter.
There are some players that will average 40.
Yeah, but good luck finding them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
And how much do you want to spend on a centre?
That's the other thing. But I don't want to be banking on 20 points a game when I can bank on 40 points a game. I'm happy to put some money into it just in case.
Fair enough. We'll see how that works out for you.
We'll see. All right. Anything else from the forward pack for the Cowboys are pretty obvious.
Yeah, the big talk about the forwards is with Scott being back, whether it'll affect how many runs Tamalolo makes or needs to make up the middle. So whether it affects his meters over the course of the season.
I think it will.
Yeah, it will, but he'll still be a gun. He'll still be a
gun.
60-point game, 60-point average.
60?
Yeah,
I think he's going to drop back to sort of 55.
Well,
like
still,
Fafita.
55 is still good.
Yeah, it is.
I'll take that.
But not at that price. Save your cash, pick him up later. So for the Sharks?
Yeah, Sione Katoa is the one that everyone's looking at on the wing.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
obviously got named there and should play there for quite a while. There's not too many. Aaron Gray is probably the competition to take his spot. But if he plays well, he'll keep the spot. And by all reports, he should be a good player.
Yep. No surprises in the pack. I think Gallen's going to play big minutes again if he stays fit.
Yeah.
Actually, I as a fantasy player, I was thinking about him, but he might be one to pick up a little bit later.
Well, they're very similar to last year, their forward pack.
Yeah.
Like they've got a couple of different guys on the bench. Able to see you, Manafaniah, but
From the Tigers.
the minutes breakdown will probably be the same as last year.
Yeah. And Matt Pryor, while he looks value in the front row, usually doesn't have the output. So.
Well, he's the first forward to get benched
Yeah.
when they need to bring on fresh players because they want to keep Fafita out there.
Yep. So no real other surprises there. I like probably the Cowboys in that game. I think the Cowboys have a good year.
Yeah, they should be pretty good this year.
Right at the top three. Thurston, we didn't really talk about Thurston. Are you going Thurston?
I did, but now I'm not, just because I needed cash. And
Same.
I'm confident he'll be good this year. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll be a guy that makes money. He's close to being one of the top halves, maybe not the top 5, but he'll be right there. He'll be close enough.
There's also talks this morning about them signing Todd Carney.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll get
I don't think that'll affect
approved
much.
by the NRL, but
Well,
they're under pressure after
they're under a lot of pressure.
all the Matt Lodge dramas. But
And while it may not affect Thurston this year, I think there's obviously a view to have a replacement for him.
but they don't need any more halves. They've got Tamari Martin sitting on the bench doing nothing.
I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced about Thurston. Like I want to be, but again, like Rayner said, if you got to save money somewhere, I think with the dual positions going around, you can probably find someone else for the half if you need to find money.
And he's getting older, so whether he can get through a season without injuries or being rested, I mean, is another thing.
Yep.
Next up is Tigers and the Roosters, and that'll be an interesting game.
I think the Tigers are getting absolutely towed up here.
So do I, hopefully.
So the big news is Corey Thompson, while he's in the team, he will not be playing fullback. So he may not be worth looking at now.
Well, his job security is not great either with Nofaluma
Yeah.
dropped down into reserves.
During the week. I don't know the story there, actually. Do you?
I think it's just to motivate him.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cleary's obviously not shy to cut who
Well, Thompson trialled well too, so it's probably to reward him and then...
Yep. So Lola here back at fullback. Probably better for the team. Maybe. I don't think it matters that much. Other big news, Peter Godinay named at 9. But I wouldn't imagine for very long, possibly. I think there's too much doubt, so that I wouldn't be looking at him, even though he looks like he could be big minute playing hooker.
I don't know about big minutes though. We've seen in the past Elijah Taylor's played hooker for a while. They've got Benji Marshall on the bench, so they could shift Josh Reynolds to hooker
Yep.
to bring him on. So
Yep.
he'll be in that sort of Slade Griffin thing where you don't know
Yep.
how many minutes they're actually going to get.
Well, he may not even be there next week. They've got obviously Jacob Little and McIlrick. I think Little's their first choice, but he's out injured at the moment, so I don't think he'll be there for very long.
Well, in reality, I mean, they could change their team before the game on Saturday, and McIlrick could come into the squad and start. So
yeah, their bench doesn't look particularly big. I think they got Eisenhuth and Twal on the bench who did quite well last week, but Cheekham's not a big bloke. He can play in the centres, and they've got Marshall on the bench. So I don't know. I'm wondering how many minutes Packer's going to get, because he's priced fairly well, and he's one of their captains, one of their 12 captains. 5 captains.
they got lots of captains.
And Madalena. So keep an eye on Packer. I think he's going to have a good year, a fairly good year, maybe.
Yeah.
The other one is Robbie Rocco. He did stay ahead of Chris McCreen. Chris McCreen got dropped. He's not even in the 21, I don't think. Nope. And while Rayner doesn't like him, he's priced...
Oh, I don't like him. I'm just not impressed by him.
He's only priced at 20, so I think there's money to be made, in my opinion. I've got him on my bench. Dual position.
Well, he got a second row on the bench that can take his spot at any time. G-Cam.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, so the Roosters star-studded lineup. I'll have a look at this one.
Tedesco, the boy at the top. Everyone's got him, I suppose, and hopefully he can keep going from where he left off last year and put on the big call?
Yeah, I think it was pretty much either Tedesco or Trbojevic. And now that I think about it, I think Trbojevic has a bit more room to
Improve.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but people are getting excited about Tedesco's amount of tries he should score this year, which is probably the one thing last year where it was probably surprising that his number of tries was a bit lower than people expected.
Yeah.
But this year, everyone's expecting him to score.
I'm going to stick with
dozen.
Tedesco. Yeah, I'm going to stick with him. The biggest news for me from this lineup is Talkieho starting at the front row ahead of Dylan Napa, a Queensland prop. So obviously he's had a great preseason from all reports, and he's goal kicking as well. Him and Latrell Mitchell will probably share that. But with Victor Radley on the bench and Ryan Madison, who's sort of
second row.
Yeah, so I'm really liking Talkieho, and I'm trying to find a way to fit him in my team. What do you reckon?
Yeah, there's a lot of upside, so I can see the appeal. I just, for that price, there's forwards around.
For he's 530.
That's a lot.
He's 530 something, same as Bromwich and Cam Murray and those kind of blokes, and Leacher. But I don't know. I just see some upside there.
Yeah, the thing with the forward rotations though is, I mean, it can change week to week. Next week he could be playing lock, or he could be on the bench. I mean, so there's risk involved if you pick him up.
Yeah.
But the upside is if he is a solid prop and cements his spot and does the kicking, I mean, it could be some handy points there.
Yeah. Mitchell Orbiston.
I'm not ever in my team. Ever.
I don't know. This year, I think I'm going to have a crack with him. Because like I said before, I don't think there's any money to be made, or much money to be made.
He's not even going to play 80
centers.
minutes.
How do you know that?
Because Ryan Madison's on the bench, and where else is he going to play?
Why wouldn't you play? Orbison played 80 minutes all year last year.
Because he was always filling in some injured centre.
I think Cordner was injured for half last year too, wasn't he?
Cordner missed a lot at the start and in the middle and at the end.
I might take a punt.
And Aiden Guerra was there last year, and he was playing average. So good luck if you want me to Orbison. That's all I say. Good luck. I'm not going near him.
Centers. I think I'm going to put some money in the centres this year.
Like I said, forget about centres.
Anyway, and the bench, Victor Radley. So I wouldn't be looking at Jake Friend.
Yeah, but Radley probably won't even come on. He'll get like 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
Well, actually, after the Roosters are tallying up Tigers, he might get 20 minutes.
After C might get benched.
Yeah.
We haven't. You know who we haven't talked about at all in any of our shows? The new halfback for the Roosters,
Cooper
Cronk.
Yeah,
great player.
He's a great player, but I mean, he just controls the game without doing a lot.
He's one of those players.
Stats-wise.
Yeah, he's one of those players that are great in real life, but don't translate into.
Having said that, he's played with Cam Smith a lot, so
yeah,
with a different hooker, he might get more kicks in or short kicks. Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
Talking him up, but I wouldn't put him in my team.
Nah. And Latrell Mitchell, I think we mentioned you might want to find a way to get him in later in the year if he's in the top few. But
Cooper Cronk's similar to where I see Thurston at the moment, where his scores could go up and he could improve, but I still don't see him quite being in the top rung of fantasy halfbacks.
Yep.
So I still wouldn't spend my money on him.
Yep. So we're thinking Roosters by at least 20?
Yeah. 20, 24.
Cool. Okay. And the big game over in Perth. There's a double header over in Perth. I've got some mates off to this game. I've got a Rabbitohs mate and a Warriors mate, which is the first game. And I wouldn't want to be on the plane home with either of those blokes if they lose. These fans are crazy for the most part. So, yeah, Rabbitohs and the Warriors. What do you like about the team list here?
For South, obviously, Damien Cook is everyone's favourite hooker at the moment. Looks like he's got the job ahead of Robbie Farah, and he should get close to 80 minutes. I still don't think he will. I think Cam Murray on the bench will probably spell him for a bit.
Yeah, that's the other big news. Cam Murray named on the bench. But I think Robbie Farah's got a little back niggle, so I don't know if he's out of the 18 because of that or because of
That's just to save his
image.
yeah,
Oh,
so he doesn't hurt his feelings.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to. I think Cook's a lock in your team. Lock him in on the bench, or he can be your number one.
There's some value too for South with Mark Nichols starting at front row. His base price. Richie Kenner is a centre wing that some people might have been looking at because he's base price and he's starting, and Junior Totola on the bench.
I don't know much about that bloke. Apparently, he's a big bloke.
Yeah, I don't know how many minutes he'll get. Being a forward in the rotation, I mean, he should get enough to go up in value. He's as cheap as you can get.
Yeah. So Cam Murray on the bench means Burgess back at lock, but I don't know how long that's going to last for. If once Cam Murray's 100% fit, I imagine that'll probably change.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with South.
So that may change again.
I think it'll take a few weeks to figure out how they're going to run.
But I think, Mark Nichols, while he's the starting prop, is definitely worth putting on your bench, I reckon.
Yeah, and as of today, he should be dual position as well.
Yeah, because he was only second row in the app, so that's all changing.
We'll wait and see if that happens, but so he could be a handy bench forward for your squad. Yep,
definitely. Anyone else there?
Not really
I'm
for
not
South.
No Dwayne on the bench.
No, I'm not surprised either. I mean, it's hard to carry another young half.
Yeah. So it looks like Murray's the utility-ish player.
Well, they got Fuya Maono as well. He'll go
second
row or centre. I think that's to cover in case GI's knee explodes.
How long are we taking bets on how long that'll take?
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine for at least the first month or so.
I don't. I reckon it could happen even in this game.
Really?
Yeah. Because he played 20 minutes in the first trial. He didn't really have to do that much, put that much effort in. I give him probably...
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets spelled on the bench.
Yeah, well, that's what I think will
he gets eased into the season, and that's what Fuimaono's doing on the bench. So,
I
wouldn't put Inglis in my team at all.
No.
But
and Gagai, I think he'll be one of the top centres again. But
he is. He's expensive, but if you want an expensive centre, he'll probably be the best centre this year.
Yeah. And for the Warriors, there's some stuff going on at the Warriors because obviously Mannering
he's got a
shoulder injury. So there's a lot of weird selections there.
No, it was always up in the air about. I think Licky Sau was always going to get the spot. Yep. That was all the talk I read, was Licky Sau would be in there. I'm surprised that Bunty Afoa got dropped from the second row spot that he had.
Yep.
And Isaiah Papali starting.
Yeah. I don't know enough about what's going on over there to say get on any of these blokes or don't get on any of these blokes. I don't know if they're going to hang around or not when Mannering comes back.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
But at the moment, I think they're both base price, so they'll definitely make money after the first week. But will they be there next week? I don't know. I don't know how long Mannering's out for. The reports
could be up to a month, they said, but it's a week by week thing. Maybe next week.
And again, that lineup might change before game day, so keep an eye on that. Sam Cook comes in on the bench as a utility. He's got some good raps, but so I wouldn't be looking at Isaac Luke at all this year because he'll probably spend some time at hooker.
Yeah.
Sean Johnson still looks strong, but I think Green's going to take some of his kick meters where Sean Johnson's pretty much done all the kicking.
I think the other way to look at it is that Blake Green will do more of the controlling stuff so that Sean Johnson can be free to just roam wherever he wants and do whatever he wants and doesn't have to worry about moving the team around as well.
Yeah.
So I might see him actually be a bit more creative if he can be more creative, but...
That's worry to think about.
Yeah.
But at that price... Probably wouldn't be splashing.
No, I'll wait and see how it all works out.
Peter Hiku.
Yeah, he's a cheap centre.
Looks like
dual position, wing as well.
Yeah, he's sewed up that spot I think his job security is really good.
Yeah, he's not a great player fantasy-wise in the past, but this year he might be all right.
Okay, that's it for the Bunnies game. Who do you like there?
Probably the Bunnies. Not so much I like the Bunnies, I just don't like the Warriors.
Yeah, and the Warriors travelled terrible to Perth, so I think the Bunnies are there as well. So next game, moving on to Saturday. The second game of the doubleheader, the bigger one. Canterbury Bankstown and the Melbourne Storm. What do you like about the Bulldogs lineup?
We finally got to see how they're going to line up in the forward pack.
Yep.
With Woods and Clemmer starting and Tolman on the bench. I wouldn't go near any of those guys just yet.
Yeah, just yet. I think the number 12 and 13 are probably where the value is. RFM in second row and Danny Fualo at lock. I don't know much about Danny Fualo.
Yeah, I don't really, but with people like Elliott on the bench, even Eastwood, whether they get big minutes in those positions is going to be interesting to see as well.
Yeah, so Clemmer can also come back to lock.
To fit Tolman on the field.
Yep. I've got one of those blokes in my team, and that's RFM Raymond for Taylor Mariner. I think there's some value there in the second row. Backline.
There's no real surprises with the backline.
No.
Foreign, obviously, halfback. No one's going near him. He's not a big fantasy scorer.
Yeah. I think the addition to Benji Marshall's little brother on the bench is an interesting one. So not Farmanu Brown, who we thought might be there and might take minutes away from Leisha.
Yeah, I mean, he still could take minutes away from Leisha.
Yep.
But
I think from reports, he's that kind of player. He's exciting. He adds some energy and to attack. So I'm thinking he may actually come on for Frawley, especially if the Dogs aren't doing well. Just to add some excitement, but again, he could come on at 9 as well. So, have you got? I know we were talking about having Elisha in our team last week.
No, I've gone away from him. I think he'll play well. He'll make money. He'll improve from last year, but I don't know that he'll make enough to justify it bringing him in.
Yeah.
When there's better options around.
He's going to be a solid bench player, but I don't know. I've had him in. I took him out. Might fit him back in, but again, we don't know if Marshall King's going to stay on the bench. Is Brown going to come back on? How his minutes will be affected? I don't know. I'm still liking him, but I'm not sure I can fit him in. Anything else from the Bulldogs? That's about it.
Yeah, nothing really.
For the Storm?
Yeah, there's a few changes from the Storm with Slater out injured. So Musters moved back to fullback and Riley Jacks at 5'8".
Yep. I think the other big news is Nelson Asafa-Solomon, I guess, is starting front row ahead of Glasby, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to really impact him enough to make him a gun.
Yeah, it's not fantastic in the sense that you must have him now. I think it's just good to have
personal vendetta.
Yeah, be ahead of Glasby, who I don't like. But with 4 forwards on the bench, I don't expect him to get massive minutes. He's not a massive minute playing. He's an absolute gun and a fantasy star if he gets the minutes.
Yeah, the bench lineup suggests that Cam Smith will get 80, and that's great for fantasy coaches. So pick Smith, put him as captain. And
change the tune there a little bit.
Yeah, I have.
Which is
just
good.
Can't leave him out.
Nah. And Bromwich, a lot of people talking about Bromwich. Again, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well,
again with 4 forwards on the bench, which traditionally they've always had. I think there's better options for value.
Yeah.
He'll be okay, but not the best for value. Anyone else in that team we're talking about?
Just Brodie Croft, halfback.
Yeah.
Looks good.
I really like this. I really like Brodie Croft.
I'm hoping he does well this year.
Yep. I've got him in my team, my 7. That's about it. Who do you like in that game?
I think the Storm will be winning comfortably. I just don't see the points in the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know. New coach, which is good, and new lease of life kind of thing, but have they got the points in them still? I don't know. I'm going to Storm. as well. Cool. Next game, Battle of the West on Sunday. Panthers and Parramatta. It's always a good one to watch, I think. There's a lot to talk about in these lineups. What do you reckon about the Panthers lineup and what their team list is?
The big interest there is Kikau being named at second row ahead of Harawira and Naira.
Yeah, so they got 4 forwards on the bench and 2 edge forwards. This kind of suggests that he's not going to be there for all that long because Isaiah Yeo's on the other side who usually plays 80 minutes. So.
Yeah, so it's another one where it's going to be a wait and see how they go and hope that the players you pick actually get the minutes that you want them to get.
Yeah. Look, I think he's cheap enough to have a crack with anyway because even if he only has to start a game or two.
Yeah, he's base price.
If he starts a game or two, he gets some okay minutes in the first couple of games. Those price riders are going to keep going for 3, 4, 5 weeks anyway, even if he drops back to the bench. So that's why I've got him on my bench at the moment. Trent Merrin, you still liking Trent Merrin?
I am. I think he's going to prove a point this year and have a big season and hopefully get big minutes as well. But
yeah,
either way, I think his impact into the game will
he's trimmed down. He's looking better.
Part of the Panthers.
I kind of want him to do well, but at the same time, I'm not going to go near him just yet.
Fair enough.
I don't like losing before the season's even started, so I'll give myself a chance first. Anything else from the Panthers lineup?
No, just James Maloney's obviously joined their squad, so it may impact on Nathan Cleary's ability to score points, but that's a wait and see situation as well.
Yeah, I think if the Panthers do well this year, I think you'll find Cleary in the top sort of 3 halves anyway. He's that kind of player, fantasy player anyway. Parramatta.
Yeah, well, we've heard Gutherson's out until round 8.
Even longer.
So
It's a shame.
that locks in their back line.
I did read.
Bevan French at fullback and Hayne at centres.
I did read through the week. It might have been NRL.com that they could possibly switch like they did in the trials. So that may make Hayne a bit more attractive if he plays some more fullback, but not for mine at the moment. Not after last year.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Takarangi
missed out on the second row starting spot.
That's a shame. I thought that'd be a sort of sneaky kind of option for centre.
Yeah, so a lot of people have probably dropped him out of their squads now.
Yeah, he's a no-go unless he starts in the second row. But even if he does, you don't know if he's going to stay there. Tepai Maroa seems in a bit of a battle because Ma'u is their other second row is locked in.
And they got Kenny Edwards too, who Brad Arthur likes, so you never know if he's going to pop up during the season.
So I really like... Oh, well, the talk is, because there's no sort of utility on the bench, Takarangi is possibly the only utility on the bench, so Cameron King at number 9 may play 80 minutes, or, Nathan Brown could drop in there for 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm expecting a late change or something to bring someone like Will Smith or Kaiser Pritchard onto the bench for Takarangi.
Yeah, keep that in mind. But I do like, I've mentioned I've liked Alvaro. I'm not going to get on him though because I want to wait and see. He's got the potential, but I do like Nathan Brown. I'm going to try and fit him into my team.
Well, the thing with 4 forwards on the bench or 3 forwards in Takarangi, then Alvaro's minutes will be impacted by that too. Yeah,
both Scott, Matangi and Evans don't traditionally play big minutes. So, yeah, I just want to wait and see. But I do like Nathan Brown.
Yeah.
Anything else from Parramatta team?
Nah, not really.
I don't see anyone else. They got 2 cheapies on the wing, but whether you want to... I think there's better options at wing fullback.
Yeah, there is.
So you liking that game?
I think Parramatta will beat Penrith comfortably. I'm not impressed with Penrith's early season form, so...
You were suggesting before that there might be some off-field issues.
Yeah, well, obviously there's something going on there with all the players leaving and the poor trial performances, so hopefully bad stuff continues.
Who knows? It could blow out. This game could blow out again like last week, so I think I'll be back at Parramatta as well. Alrighty, last game of the round. The Titans and Canberra.
Do we have to talk about it?
Well, there's some relevant players on the Titans team.
Bryce Cartwright is the one. Everyone else is...
Yeah, look, I think they've obviously named Latu and Arrow. I think we knew they were going to name Latu in the front row, but they put Arrow in as well. He seems to recover from his rib injury.
I think he'll move out of there after the first week when Wallace gets back from suspension.
Yeah, well, they've also got Max King and Boyle, who I thought actually might get a start in the front row. So I really don't know how that's going to all play out when everyone's when it's all said and done. So, but I think there's enough value in Latu anyway to get on to start with. He's only 320, so I've got Cartwright and I'll also grab Latu. I'm not too sure about Jai Arrow yet. I think Jai Arrow is probably a better player, but I want to wait and see what's going on with that pack. Mitch Rain on the bench, so Pete's is probably a no-go. Anything else in that team?
Not really. Well, they've got Michael Gordon adding some experience at fullback. I wouldn't think about him for fantasy, but he may help out the Titans' young halves and improve their performances this year.
Maybe.
Beyond that, I mean, I'm not ever interested in Titans players just because they don't traditionally score well.
Conrad Hurrell has his ups and downs. That's probably the problem, not consistent. Yeah. Otherwise, he's got the potential to be a good centre, but probably not. And for the Canberra Raiders, whose list I didn't really look at before, because I didn't even notice Whitehead was named at 13, which is
Whitehead, Locke, and Sam Williams named at halfback are the two main changes to what everyone expected.
Yep.
Whether that stays like that week to week is another thing.
Yeah. So Blake Austin named on the bench. He could come on for the halves or for Havili, who got the 9. There's no Garvey on the bench.
Yeah.
Or Caesar can go into 9 and Austin can go in the halves because Sam Williams got the halfback and they moved Caesar to 5'8". So I think Ricky Stewart must really like Sam Williams if he wants him to control the game.
Yeah, or else he's just confused about his team and just trying all kinds of things.
Possibly. I think they've dabbled with Sam Williams in the past. He's never been really that good.
No, he's never been a huge fantasy scorer.
But he's priced quite well at, I think, 290 something. So he's priced at 20 points, which, I don't know, I'm sort of thinking there's going to be value there.
But he may not be in the team next week.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Anything else in that team? You got all these backline players that can go good.
Yeah, there's talk of getting on Croker and Leilua and Rapana because the Raiders have a pretty soft start to the season. But I don't really rate that sort of tactics, just hoping that players score tries and get points.
Yeah, you're sort of hoping with these. If you've got them in your team, you're sort of fingers crossed every time they play. Are they going to have a good game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather not go that way either and have more reliable players.
Did we mention Havili?
Yeah, so Havili got the 9.
Yeah, everyone's probably got him in their team now. He's obviously not going to play there for the full 80 with... I
think 40 or 50 minutes.
Yeah, but that'll be enough. He'll make money and
Yep.
Everyone will be happy.
Yep. That's about it for their team.
Yeah, that's about it.
And that's it for the week. Who do you like in that game? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I actually changed my mind again. I think Canberra will probably get up just on the basis of their forward pack.
2 seconds ago, you said the Titans.
2 seconds ago, I said the Titans, but I think the front row battle is Canberra's big forwards will dominate. And they've got a bit more experience in the halves as well.
I think...
Well, not with Williams, but with Caesar. And, I think they'll be...
I think the way the Titans defend and the way the Canberra can attack, I'm actually changing my mind too. I was on Titans 2 seconds ago.
This is definitely the battle for the wooden spoon.
I can see the Titans
with the Tigers as well. But.
Yeah, I think the Titans just have the potential to leak too many points.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap of the team lists for Team Lists Tuesday, and now the round's only a day away. It's tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow
it's exciting.
Night. Bloody hell, it's very good. So what do we got on next week?
Next week, looking ahead, obviously, we'll pick through the wreckage of our teams after round 1 and see which selection decisions works and which ones didn't. And then we'll preview our head-to-head comp and some matchups for that. And
start working out all the trades we need to do straight away to fix our teams.
Yeah, and to become the champion.
But I'm not showing my team just yet. I know the guys at work are eagerly awaiting, but they can wait another week
Yeah.
we'll obviously
Hit me up on Twitter if you want to know mine. I'll tell you everyone.
Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, if you have any questions about team selections, just leave a question in the comments and we'll get to it, or other.
Yeah, chuck some comments in. We'll we're happy to talk fantasy anytime. So
Cool. See you next time.
See ya.